I struck the board and cried, "No more! What, shall I ever sigh and pine? My lines in life are free, free as the road, loose as the wind, as large as store. Shall I be still in suit? Have I no harvest but a thorn to let me blood, and not restore what I have lost with cordial fruit? Sure there was wine before my sighs did dry it, there was corn before my tears did drown it. Is the year only lost to me? Have I no bays to crown it, no flowers, no garlands gay? All blasted, all wasted? Not so, my heart, but there is fruit, and thou hast hands. Recover all thy sigh-blown age on double pleasures. Leave thy cold dispute of what is fit and not. Forsake thy cage, thy rope of sands, which petty thoughts have made, and made to thee good cable, to enforce and draw and be thy law, while thou didst wink and wouldst not see. Away, take heed, I will abroad. Call in thy death's head there, tie up thy fears. He that forbears to suit and serve his need deserves his load. But as I raged and grew more fierce and wild at every word, methought I heard one calling, "Child," and I replied, "My lord."
Okay, so the first thing that we always need to look at is the title, which is the caller. Now, without reading the poem, that doesn't really give us much without analyzing it. So we'll go ahead and start. It's important to look for any rhetorical devices as they can shed more light about the author's purpose. So the first one that we see is a simile here, where he compares his life to a road, wind, and a store. So the speaker is saying that their life is full of freedom and opportunity, and that they don't have to just sit around and wait, that they should go out and take advantage of some of that. You see some imagery relating to the harvest here with fruit and corn. Now, this suggests that the speaker doesn't have fulfillment in their life and that they're seeking that. So that ties back to the freedom of opportunity. They want to go out and explore or follow their heart. Now, in this first part, you also see some religious imagery with the thorn and crown, which ties back to the crown of thorns, which is a traditional Christian symbol, and wine, which ties back to Christianity with the blood of Christ and communion. Now, there's this break here when the speaker switches from just kind of going on about his life to talking directly to his heart. So he tells his heart to leave its cage and break its ropes, which tie back to the religious piece of this poem, that the speaker feels like religion is keeping him hostage and is keeping his heart from doing what it actually wants to do. And this is especially emphasized in the line, "and be thy law," which suggests that he wants to cast off the rules of Christianity and following whatever moral code it sets out, and to just do what he feels like will fulfill him and will make him happy. However, at the end of the poem, the speaker actually comes back to Christianity because he hears God speaking to him. And you can see that the tone shifts because he's talking about how he raved and grew more fierce and wild, and then it shifts back to the religious piece of it. So now that we've gone through and analyzed the poem, we can go back to the title, The Collar. So the priests wear a white collar, and the title of the poem suggests that religious theme, even though it doesn't make a lot of sense until you've gone through it. So now we can go to Soapstone. The speaker is just a person. There's not really that much information in the poem to identify a particular aspect of the speaker. The occasion is that they're struggling with faith. And the audience is unclear as well. There's not any particular piece of information that points to a specific audience, although the second piece of the poem is speaking directly to the heart. The purpose is to describe how the speaker came back to God. The poem is written in past tense, so the speaker's looking back at his experience, at questioning his faith, and talking about how even though he thought that he was unfulfilled, he actually did want to stay a Christian and did find fulfillment in that. And the tone shifts as well towards the end. It starts as very adventurous and confident, and you can see that with Tie Up Thy Fears and I Struck the Board and Cried No More. However, at the end, it becomes more peaceful and quiet.